What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. Today I'm coming at you with the weekly whip and chat, and whip stands for work in progress. And I'm actually going to be doing a kit up today, which I will get into in just a moment. First and foremost, for those of you who are new, hi, welcome. My name is Naomi, and this is my diamond painting channel. I'm going to be talking to you for about an hour about stuff having to do with my life and whatnot. Then at the end, I read a tarot card just for funsies. Let me set this aside though, because I don't need that right now. I've already shuffled everything. But the kit that I'm going to be kitting up today is Moon Eater by Yume. Oh, I've been so looking forward to doing this piece for so freaking long. And I thought to myself, well, I need a square in my life, like stat, as I have finished a couple, and I needed something to add to the to-do list, and I think Moon Eater is going to be it, and it's going to get its own page. I had thought about kitting this one up a while ago, but then I ended up working on other stuff, and I was like, you know what? I think I've put off Moon Eater for long enough. I just need to get started on it. So there you have that. Today is for me, is 6/17. By the time you're watching that, is probably the 18th. But let me set this aside. Now I have it underneath there just so that we've got a little, something pretty to look at while we do our kit up. I am going to pause while I take these out of the bag so you don't have to listen to any crinkly plastic. Be right with you. All right, there we go. Now I did do an unboxing for Moon Eater. If you want to go and check that out, it'll be in my unboxing videos. But this one has, let's see, 1, 2, 3 ABs, and then 2 fairy dust and a crystal. The ABs, there is this like brownish gold color, a very light, beautiful yellow, and I'm missing one. Oh, a white should be in here someplace. It's hiding. Anyways, oh, here it is. A white AB. And then we have a really bright yellow fairy dust and a kind of peachy pale fairy dust, along with a really nice light crystal. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. Ooh, my goodness. All right, now before I do all of that, I always stick my specials off to the side. I do those ones last, but let's start getting these in order. So, how has your week been? Mine has been all right. I been doing a lot of outside stuff because the weather, now it is getting warmer, you guys, and so I do go out and enjoy the nice weather, but the problem is that once it starts getting really hot, it's not a great idea to take beans out in the hot weather. So I have to be, careful. And we hit like 90 degrees today. Unpleasant, I can tell you that. And I had the worst migraine, so I didn't end up doing my live like I normally would because it's supposed to storm. It's been like on the verge of a storm all day, and we got nothing. So it definitely affects my headaches when we have like, back and forth weather. So I would really like it to just storm and get it over with. 1, so it drops the temperature a little bit, and then 2, so that my headache can just go away, because the pressure, the air pressure, the humidity, like it's just not fun. And as you guys might or might not know, I don't have central air, and so I have to like put a window unit in, and I don't like doing that when it's freaking, beginning of June, so I was trying to, well, that was a loud car, sorry about that. That guy was the coolest. I don't like putting in an air conditioner in, beginning of June. It feels wrong to do that, it just feels like, a waste of electricity, but it's getting to the point now where I can't wait. Dustin's gonna have to deal with it, even if he doesn't like it, But, anywho, so, goodness, what all has gone down since last week? Oh, well, for one, I know I had talked about finding Sugar a boy partner, and I think that I have done that. I met the neighbors. They were having a house party sort of thing on Father's Day, and I went over, not at all awkwardly, and was like, hey, so I'm like, your dog's really cute. I have a Chihuahua. I was thinking about, eventually having puppies. And they're like, oh, they're Vietnamese. And thankfully, his American name was Tony. And he spoke very good English. So we got it all worked out. But that may or may not be in the works. There could be a Sugar puppy or two before the end of summer, which is exciting. Now, I will obviously be incredibly careful and will be paying attention to all the important stuff, all will be overlooked by the appropriate parties and, all of that. So don't worry, I will be a responsible person. And any resultant puppies, because I've been wanting to have a Sugar puppy for a long time. That's part of why we didn't get her fixed. And so any and all puppies are already, already have spoken for homes. So I'm not too worried that they're going to end up, on the street or something, or in shelters. I don't do that. And I would be honestly beyond shocked if she had more than a puppy, because Chihuahuas are not known for they're not known for having multiples in their litter unless it's like 2. So anyways, I'm super stoked about that because, like I said, it's something that has been kind of in the ethers for a while. Oh, okay. So I figured out what all my luck was for, you guys. They did a release this weekend of a beautiful Margaret Morales piece. You know what? I'm going to put in an image right here. And this piece in particular, she is absolutely gorgeous, okay? Well, I had talked about how I wasn't buying anything, and really the only holdout would be a Morales, and boy, did they deliver a beauty. So, she was on sale on Saturday. I set an alarm, and I stayed up really late Friday into Saturday. It was like, early in the morning, I finally went to sleep, which is normal for me. I go to sleep at about, 3 or 4, what have you. And in this instance, I had set an alarm thinking like, okay, I'm going to be fine, whatever. Well, so set my alarms, and it was Saturday, so Dustin was home, and hold one second, I gotta grab something. Okay, there we go. so it was a weekend. Justin does not work on the weekends most of the time unless he's like specially scheduled or whatever. And so he usually gets up early on the weekends anyways, because he's used to getting up at, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyhow, well, so we end up, I go to sleep at like 4:30, maybe even later than that. Gosh, I don't even know. But I go to bed really, really late / early, depending on how you want to look at that. And he got up at something like, oh, it was probably 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. He got up, took Beans, went for a walk, a long walk, like our normal walk, which meant going down by the river, okay? And did his thing, whatever. Dustin comes home, hangs out, and then roundabout, it must have been close to 9:30 or something. He must have decided to go and take a nap, because Beans was in and trying to wake me up at like every half hour on the hour. So what ended up resulting of that was like, I woke up, I was, you know, I'd be half awake, say hey to Beans, he's nudging me, like wanting me to get up, and finally I ended up like, got myself half awake, sent my daughter a text, you know, whatever, because remember, I'm thinking I've got to be awake because I've got to buy this Morales. So I thought, okay, well, I'm mostly awake. By this point, I set my alarm for like 10:30 because I wanted to have plenty of time to be awake and pay attention to what was happening, you know, whatever. Because I was going to have to come downstairs and do my purchase on the computer. Well, so I'm sort of laying there like dozing, you know, whatever, but not sleeping. And I ended up like, when the time came around for my alarm, I just dismissed them as they came up, and I fell back asleep, you guys. Oh my gosh. Well, so when I mean I fell back asleep, I mean I totally went back to sleep. And I missed VIP, the VIP launch for it. Well, then I wake up, it's at this point 12 p.m. I sit up, and I mean like out of a dead sleep, I sit up, I'm like, oh my gosh. I check my phone because I'm like, oh no, I missed her. I completely missed her, right? So I'm looking at the app like, ugh, I'll check it, but I'm sure she sold out. I checked the app, you guys, it was noon, a half an hour after general release, and she did not sell out. I guess I figured out what I needed all that luck for, because I can't believe that I was able to get her. Now, I haven't gotten her yet. She hasn't arrived, but I'd like to think that she will hopefully arrive with no issues, right? But oh my gosh. So there you have it. That's what I used all my good luck for, was for the Morales that I purchased. I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. I wouldn't, because I definitely needed all of that. She's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I can't even describe how beautiful. Now, granted, I want to like kit her up the minute she gets here. We'll see if that ends up happening. I mean, she's 96 colors, and this is what I think happened and why she was still available a half an hour after general release. She's 96 colors, okay, and she's around. And I think that people who are scared of like high color kits probably went, I want to see a finish or whatever before I make a decision. Or, well, I don't like rounds or whatever. Because there are people who, and to be fair, I used to be one of those people who would not purchase something if it was in square, because I was a rounds fanatic. I would only purchase rounds until I finally started learning how to do squares. So I understand there are people who are like, oh, it's a round, forget about it. I am not one of those people now, but I don't know how I would have been a Morales fan if I had kept that way of thinking, because so many of the, I mean, so many of them are in square. You know what I mean? I am so grateful that I finally got myself into doing squares, or I can't even imagine all of the beautiful kits that I would be missing out on if I just flat refused to work them. So I count myself among the lucky that I managed to get her, because really, in all honesty, I should not have been able to get her. That should have been a done deal. Forget about it. There's no freaking way. And you snooze, you lose. Like, legitimately, you snooze, you lose. But I did get her. So, whew, you guys, used up all of my, 50 cents, or yeah, 50 cents worth of quarters I found heads up, and all of my freaking 4-leaf clovers and my bunny tail. I used it all on a Morales, and that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Could be worse, right? It could be worse. Oh my goodness. What else? Oh, I have a funny story about the bird that keeps like pegging me every time that I go past the one house. The red-winged blackbird. Well, okay, so I'm going over past the house, and I had Beans with me, and the woman who owns the house was outside, and she's over like watering some plants or whatever. And I said to her, oh, the bird doesn't bother you when you're watering your plants or whatever? And she's like, no, not at all. She had mentioned that, they tried to catch it before she nested, so that, because I had this same problem last year where I'd walk past and I'd get nailed by this freaking bird. Well, so she says, no, not at all. And I'm going to be honest with you, if this bird ends up attacking me while I'm like mowing my lawn or whatever, I'm going to come out here with a tennis racket, and every time she tries to hit me, I'm going to nail her with it. I was like, oh shoot. Well, she's like, so get this. The other day I came out and my mail had been delivered to my side door, which is the opposite side of the house from where her mailbox is, where her driveway is. She's like, the mail was delivered to my porch, like just sitting on my porch. And she's like, that's weird, I'll have to talk to the mailman about it, make a point to find out what happened, if, something was going on, whatever. Well, the next day, she missed the mailman. He came and went again, and again, he left her mail on her side porch. And she's getting really confused, like, what is going on? Well, then she didn't work the next day, and she said that she sat out on a lawn chair in her driveway waiting for the mailman to come. And the mailman shows up and is headed over again to her side door where her driveway is, and is about to deliver her mail to her driveway. And she's like, excuse me, what are you doing? And I guess she said The mailman is like 6'4". He's wearing a hat, you know, whatnot. And he said, I'm not going to deliver mail to you with that red-winged blackbird. I'm not going to do it. You either got to take care of that, or I'm not going to deliver your mail to your mailbox. And she, I guess, started cussing him out, which you don't want to do with a government worker. Like, you just don't go cussing out government workers. Not a good idea. It's not a good idea to cuss anybody out, really. Like, you probably just shouldn't. But she starts cussing him out, I guess. And he's like, you know, no, I'm sorry, not going to happen. I'm not going to deliver your mail to your mailbox while you're dealing with this red-winged blackbird. And she's telling him, oh, I'm going to call your supervisor. You can't do that. Well, yes, actually they can. If you have a nuisance animal like a dog, squirrels, whatever, things in your mailbox that they don't want to deal with, then they absolutely can leave a note and not deliver your mail to your mailbox. But she's like saying, you know, this man is 6'4" and he can't handle a bird. And I'm thinking, like, I get pegged by this thing every day in the back of the head. It really doesn't. It's like, it doesn't hurt. It's not that big a deal. But apparently the mailman is scared of the red-winged blackbird pegging him in the back of the head. And he was telling her that, you know, he'd been dealing with all of these different red-winged blackbirds, like, down the blocks. Basically, there's one on every freaking corner. Red-winged blackbirds are very territorial. Like, they don't mess around when it comes to their nests. So I understand I wouldn't want to be pegged by multiples of red-winged blackbirds, though they're really not that scary. I mean, whoop, dang it. You really can just sort of, walk away from it. It's not painful. It really isn't. It's not a painful experience. Yeah, I just dumped all my drills. No worries. But I got a good giggle out of that. I was thinking, like, well, there is, to my understanding, culturally, there are some cultures that do not believe in removing nests. Like, if a bird nests in your mailbox or on your property or in your eaves or whatever, they leave them. They don't believe in removing the nests. It's bad luck. So she was talking about possibly, spraying the nest down. And I was like, uh-oh, well, don't let whatever. I think it's in Mexico, maybe? I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I don't mean to be wrong, but I believe that there is a culture that believes that it's unlucky, and I think it's Mexican culture, but if I'm incorrect, I apologize. And, most people, they don't worry about it, but most other birds, like sparrows, whatever, they're not as territorial as red-winged blackbirds are. Those suckers, like, they don't mess around. They'll come after you, you know what I mean? They'll come get you. Oh, okay. I have, along my walks, there's all sorts of fun and interesting things that happen along my walks, around the neighborhood specifically. And one of which is one of the houses that I go past. There are many little stray kitty cats. And this particular house with the stray kitty cats has babies. And we're just about to cross the street to get to where this house is with the cats. And Beans sees either mama or one of the baby kittens, I don't remember. And he got so excited to get over there and see these kitties because, he's a gentle giant. He just wants to go smell everything. Well, he ended up meeting, well, first it was like one cat and then it was many. I am going to insert a video right here. There's a little baby kitty cat, Beans. Look at it. Oh, there's another little baby kitty cat. What's it doing? What's a little baby kitty cat doing? I want to smell ya. Oh, you scared it. Hi, kitten. It's a little baby kitten. And there's a mama kitty. Oh my God, there's another baby kitty. How many are there? There's 3. 4? No, that might be Dad. Look at all these cats. You're surrounded. Beans, you're surrounded. How do you feel about that? Video right here. He was so excited to meet those kitties, and it was really honestly like the cutest thing ever. But the mama cat, after I stopped the video and we departed from the area, the mama kitty, because she got all puffed up and like, what are you doing to my babies? She started chasing behind us. I wasn't sure if she was going to do anything, so I just kind of kept him moving. I didn't want her to, you know, get really spicy about it, so I kept him moving. But I think there were 4 kittens. I don't know. There were a lot. I'll put it that way. There were a lot of kittens. Very, very, very cute. But lots of babies everywhere. The pelicans have had babies. There's ducks and geese babies, and they're all getting so big so fast. It's like, seems like a week ago, you know, we were just seeing the babies being born, and now all of a sudden the babies are just everywhere you look, just everywhere. So I personally, you know, I've worked at the Humane Society, and I worked there for a lot of years. It's actually where Dustin and I met. I've talked about it. And I don't like it when people just either they let their cats live outside. One, because they kill birds, they get into garbage, you know, they can become nuisances in that way, but also because oftentimes they're not spayed or neutered, or worse, somebody declaws them and lets them outside, and then they have like nothing to defend themselves against whatever. But I don't like it because there's so many people that they let them out unspayed, unneutered, and then there's just all of these unwanted babies, and it really is unfortunate. But, you know, other than that, I mean, it's very normal, it's very natural in other countries that, you know, they let their cats run outside, and they're kind of sort of built to be outside. Obviously not in freezing cold or anything like that, but, you know, they can fend for themselves. It's just when people don't fix them, and then they just have babies on babies on babies, and because most people, you know, they don't clean up their trash or whatever, they have plenty of food, right, to be able to get into and feed their young. And so, you know, it's definitely a problem because they get into the garbage and things like that. Oh, so Dustin and I discovered that a spot that we had hiked, and it was several years back, we hiked in the Arboretum in town. We had no idea this whole time that the Arboretum that we were hiking in town is actually our school district's outdoor laboratory, which is just a fancy way of saying like a hiking area for students to learn about, you know, trees and whatever. Well, so they call it the JSOL, the school's outdoor lab. Well, the issue that we ran into was we didn't know that this was like part of the school district or whatever, and we went looking for it, and it was like, why does it keep taking us to the outdoor lab? We're like, this can't be right, or whatever. Come to find out, no, we were absolutely right that it was the outdoor lab. It just, yeah, didn't know it all along. Well, we've been doing a lot of different walks, like our normal walks, and then going to the arboretum, things like that. And one of my new hobbies, and I didn't even know I had an aptitude for it, is foraging. Now, I will scroll some pictures through here while we are going along, just with some nature things, the different mushrooms that we have discovered, the different things we've seen on our trips, and then I'll tell you a little story also. Well, some of my favorite things that we've discovered while I've been out foraging is actually, well, mushrooms. Now, I have said before, and probably several times, I am not a mushroom person. Like, when it comes to plain, whatever kind of mushrooms you get on pizza or that we normally cook with, whatever, I do not do mushrooms. Can't stand the texture, can't stand the flavor. It tastes like, I don't know, like you left clothes in the laundry for too long or something. They're disgusting. Okay, I don't like mushrooms. But when you forage for mushrooms, it's very different. It's not the same kind of mushrooms. The flavors are very different. And I am just so you know, I am very, very, very careful. I don't ever eat anything that I expect is going to do me any harm. If it's something that has a duplicate, like it's something that could be another kind of mushroom, like I will just pass because I don't want to take the chance. I'm not going to poison myself, okay? I promise you. Won't let that happen. That being said, I have tried 4 different types of mushrooms now that I have foraged. One of those, the first kind, was the yellow morels that I found. And morels are like choice for mushrooms. It's like one of the things that people pay very good money for. And with reason, they were delicious. I thought they were wonderful. But I had never had a mushroom prior to that I had any interest in eating, like, ever, okay? Never, ever, ever. Well, so I ate the morels, and it sort of opened my eyes to the fact that mushrooms could taste like something other than disgusting mushroom, okay? I thought that mushrooms had one flavor. I didn't realize that you could get mushrooms that didn't taste like mushroom, that didn't taste like, you know, freaking like dirt and rot, okay? Because that's what mushrooms taste like to me. They're just disgusting. Well, so I had the morels, really enjoyed those. The second kind that we tried were called, I can't say the word. They're a golden type mushroom. It's because it rhymes with another word that I have issues saying. They're a golden mushroom, and they're really delicious. They have a really, I would say, those have kind of a, it's sort of a meaty flavor to them, and they're very tender. They're good. I liked them not as much as the morels, but they were decent. They were decent, and I would eat them again probably. They were good. They were not bad. But the third kind that we tried were called Dryad Saddle, and I definitely showed you. Uh-oh, where'd that sticker just go? Oh no. I know that I showed you guys. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. I know I showed you guys pictures of it and that I talked about it when I tried them. Those were tougher. Those I would want to find when they're fresher and smaller, because they were really tough to chew. So most of those I ended up drying. I cut them into like really tiny little diced up pieces, and I dried them out so that they could be used later for like flavoring soups, because it had more of a like kind of a meaty flavor, but it had a woody flavor too. And they weren't bad, but they were not my favorite. Well, in the Arboretum, sneaky, we found a fourth kind of edible mushroom, and these are called, and I didn't get a picture, but sorry, they're called chicken of the woods. And you guys, they're called chicken of the woods for a couple of different reasons. One, because when they're on the tree, they're like a golden color, but they have these like ruffly fans on the ends of them, so they look like a chicken tail kind of. And also because they taste like chicken meat when you cook them. I sauteed them just on their own in butter with some, different salt and pepper to flavor. Oh my gosh, they were so good. I liked those better than I liked the morels. I would 100% go seeking those out. They are a choice edible mushroom. Loved those. Absolutely loved those. And hope that we find some more of those again sometime, because oh my gosh, they were delicious. Absolutely delicious. There's a lot of, especially right now on the bike trails, a lot of edible strawberries. And edible strawberries are funny because they are really teeny tiny, and they are really kind of tart, but it's like this instant taste of strawberry, and they're so freaking good. Oh my gosh. Just the flavor is beyond, it's out of this world. I don't even really like normal size large strawberries, but these are so delicious. Oh my goodness. Ugh, I would honestly just eat these all day, all night. I always feel like a winner when I find them because they are delicious. I mean, so good. And when we go on the bike trails, especially in the last like week, there have been a lot of strawberries to be found, and each week I find, a little, and it's never more than like a handful. I only ever find a handful, but it is honestly enough to get like a good, hey, these are delicious sort of flavor in the mouth, and I just want to eat them all day. I would if I could, honestly, because they're so freaking good. So freaking good. Whoop. Let me not throw 939s at myself here. Just amazing. Amazing good stuff. And I don't know if you've ever had any wild strawberries, but they are so good. Oh, here comes Beans down the stairs. Has to come be loud. Tromping his way down. But I told Dustin, I was going to have to try and find a way so that we can grow some in our backyard, because I like them better than I like normal strawberries. Normal strawberries are fine, but these are so much better in my opinion. Would go out of my way to find a way to plant them in the yard, because the bigger strawberries, like I said, they're okay. I've just never really been a big fan of strawberries, and so the fact that I even like these little itty bitty ones is kind of a surprise to me. It's a seed thing. I don't know. With the bigger strawberries, I don't like seeded fruits because they tend to, you get little seeds stuck in your teeth and it's a texture thing. I just, bleh. Not into it. Not into it. But anyways, yeah. So been having fun playing the foraging game to see if I find things that are really tasty. You gotta try new things. And I found that the Google Lens on your phone, it's like on your search bar, there's a little camera icon that if you take a photo of things with that, it should be able to identify the thing that you're using it to look at and find out what it is that you're looking at. And you know, some extra searching can obviously do more to help you out, you know, if you're unsure or whatever. But if you wanted to start foraging yourself for stuff, you absolutely can do it. And to utilize the Google image, like the Google Lens search, to figure out what things are so that you don't eat something poisonous, because that's the trick. It's like you don't want to eat mushrooms or any red berry that you're not sure. Now the strawberries, I knew what those were. I'd had them before, but yeah. Mulberries are also out, but I am not a mulberry person. I don't know that I know anybody who is a mulberry person. I find them to be honestly quite boring. They just sort of taste like, I don't know, slightly flavory water, but not good flavory water. And not delicious. I don't know. Not a mulberry fan. Any of you guys mulberry fans out there? I am not one. And then, of course, we've got the blackberries that are just about to come into season. And I'm really excited about that because we have lots of them in our backyard, but they're also all over the different trails and places that we like to go walking and hiking. So, you know, lots of those to be had. And whenever we take Bowie with us, Bowie knows how to find them, and she'll eat them right off the vine. It's pretty cute. It is pretty cute because she loves to eat wild raspberries / blackberries. They're delicious. But yeah, anybody else out there a forager? Do you do any foraging for berries, mushrooms? I know we're coming up on like wild onion season. I'm probably not gonna get all fancy as that. I don't really care for onion in the best of times. I mean, yeah, I'll put it in my food, but I have onion for that. I don't need to go foraging for an onion really. But there's lots of people, because the bike trails are, you know, they're public and anybody can use them. You don't really get into any kind of like trouble for foraging or, you know, grabbing stuff that you see on the public bike trails. Like they don't really care. I think that, you know, if there were a problem, then they would maybe say something, but honestly, I doubt it because most people are down right off of those bike trails and they're fishing or, you know, whatever. So I think people foraging for wild mushrooms and strawberries are like the least of their concerns for, you know, what people could be doing back there. And This is also like the time of the year where when we used to go walking on a different part of the bike trail, we would often like run into homeless people sleeping on benches in the middle of the night, because we would walk in a specific area that was, you know, remote, kind of out of the way. We like to walk at night when it gets hotter because it's just not as safe to walk beans in the daytime when it's 90 freaking degrees, right? So we don't want to run into anybody who could be asleep or, you know, whatever, living on the bike trail. It's a little bit of a scary thought. I mean, I get it. Some people, they're just trying to find a place to sleep that's both safe and comfortable, but, you know. We used to have the area outside of our public library. There was a parking lot there, and people were able to park their vehicles. Like if they had an RV or whatever, they could park there and essentially make that parking lot like a living space or whatever. But a lot of people ended up kind of abusing that privilege and made it a not safe place to go, because we used to walk through with the dogs every night, and there were really just kind of weirdos, people doing drugs or drug deals, or people that were really intoxicated. And now they have a space where they can still go, and it's considered a place where they can park their RVs or whatever, but it's directly across from the police station. And I've noticed that like nobody uses that area. I mean, color me unsurprised if people are doing unsavory things, they're not going to be parking across from the police station. But at least there is an area for those who are really not trying to break the law and just legitimately looking for a place that's safe, that they can sleep in their vehicles. It's like anything else, honestly, where, you know, there's always one or two crap people that tend to ruin it for everybody else. Because there were people living in the parking lot by the library for years with no issues. But then it was like just constant tons of litter everywhere downtown too, when they sleep downtown. And I'm not just complaining about homeless people. It's anybody who decides that they're going to spend a night outside, including more than just your law-abiding people who don't have homes. No judgments. I mean, there are situations that people get into where they simply cannot help it, you know. It's not like they're trying to be homeless, but then there's others who are definitely not trying to be homeless, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm getting really excited about the 4th of July coming up, because that's when it is fireworks season, and it is my favorite holiday. So I'm looking forward to figuring out what Dustin and I are going to do for the 4th of July, because we used to do a week-long go somewhere sort of vacation. I think this year we're just going to do a stay at home. You know, we don't need to do anything super fancy, but I would really enjoy at least going somewhere really good to see fireworks, because our local fireworks are okay. They're meh. We'll see. We'll see if we stay around for our local fireworks or if we go find someplace else. But I am really excited about that. What do you guys think about fireworks? Are you fireworks people? I know some people have issues with PTSD or loud sounds, things like that. And so let me know. Are you a fireworks person? Because like as an autistic person, it's actually honestly like my favorite thing ever. I love fireworks intensely. Love them. I shouldn't love them as much as I love them, but I do. I love them so much. They're just amazing. Anyway. What are we at? Oh, we got about 10 minutes here before I call it a wrap up. Let me pour this color. Oh, of course. I wasn't dealing with any static, and now, of course, I am. And then I will grab our tarot card. Our thought for the week. All right, boom. There's that one. I'm so stoked about this one, you guys. It probably won't take me any time at all because it's not super huge. There seems to be a lot of really good, like, kind of color blocky sections and some confetti, so this one's a good mixer. All right, I'll stick down my sticker, and I will grab my tarot cards. Okay, let's see here. Boom. All right, give me a moment and get a little drink. Okay, and our card, which is our thought for the week, is the Piper. Ooh, the Piper. Let's see what the Piper has to say. The Piper. Music, order, harmony, seduction, and empathy are the key words. To get what you want, the Piper recommends that you try polite requests and gentle, patient persuasion, and then wait, quietly welcoming for it to come to you. Seek harmony and tranquility in yourself and the world around you. Use tenderness and gentleness. This card speaks of a time of harmony, creativity, and increasing order. It tells of communication without words, the music of empathy, and the awareness of the feelings and concerns of others. This is a time to pay attention to the subtlety of others' expressions of feelings and ideas. Look past the surface and listen as you would to a beguiling melody on the very edge of hearing. He also plays melodies in our dreams, which may be filled with meaning and importance, and then he leaves it up to us to understand what they mean. This may also be a good time to be aware that others may be listening to us with sensitivity and clarity, so much so that they may hear what we are truly saying more clearly than we do ourselves. This card may also signify musical talent or ability, or it may be suggesting that the use of music is in some way important at the present time. Okay, interesting. So listening to music, there's some harmony, some creativity, and some increasing order, a time without words, communication without words, and the music of empathy. And you know, honestly, I am the kind of person that I tend toward listening to the music of communication without words, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean music, right? Like music being played. I also pay attention to the communication of subtlety in patterns and in body language and in all of those sorts of things too. And sometimes those cues can be very, very, very hard to read. Now, I think that as we approach summer solstice and the time when we are edging toward the longer nights, it's important to bolster ourselves with our friends, to make good our communication, to make sure that we're speaking in the flow of kindness and understanding, and in trying to understand others as well. Now, on the subject of music and things like that, I did want to throw out a couple of really good recommendations, just things that I've been kind of listening to, lately. I've had a lot of Imagine Dragons playing, and because I just love the music of Bridgerton, I've been listening to a lot of classical versions of popular songs, because I love classical music anyways. As I see music as colors, it can be like having my own light show when I'm listening to classical music. And so just doing a YouTube search on some classicalized versions of popular songs, and I bet you'll find at least a few out there that you didn't even know that you would be in love with. There's been a lot of really, really good ones out there. But all right, I think I might be able to get through the rest of this before the end of the last few minutes here. What are you guys watching lately? Are you listening to any good podcasts? I do have to say, and I know I'm a little bit of a weirdo, I am getting really excited about, well, one, the subsequent release of Survivor 49, and then as that has to do with Survivor 50, which is an all-returnee season. And Suri, yes, if you're a Survivor watcher, you know who the hell Suri is. Suri is a returnee, as is Ozzy. Some like classic returnees. Honestly, like, I am so stoked. There's also there's going to be 24 people on Survivor 50, and it is 12 from seasons prior to season 40, and then 12 from seasons after season 40, so 41 to 49. Oh, I'm so excited. Mike White is on there, as well as Angelina, Christian, all of those from the David and Goliath season. Oh my goodness, like, I am so stupid excited. I've been watching a lot of the like cast analysis and just different like takes on the returnees that are going to be on. Like, it's super exciting because there are some good ones, some really, really good ones that I'm excited to see come back and play. And then there's others that it's like, I mean, okay, I guess if you feel like they need another chance, like Colby, for instance, I don't really feel like I need to see Colby from season 2 play again. But I guess if they had to bring some really old school people back, then I guess Colby's a good choice. Coach is going to be back. That should be interesting. For those of you who have no idea what the heck Survivor is, if you haven't watched Survivor, now is just as good a time as any to go and actually, like, watch it. Whoops. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Had to figure out what I was doing there. I was like, uh-oh, did I mess that up? Almost. If you haven't watched Survivor, it's actually a really good show. I didn't start watching it until a couple of years ago, and highly recommend it. It's actually really good. It's reality TV without being like, I don't know. It's not like Real Housewives or whatever. It's a different kind of reality. It's actually like some of the first reality TV. So, oh, that's Beans telling me my time is up, I guess. But other than that, you guys, I don't know. Tell me what you guys are watching. Is there something I should be consuming, or music I should be listening to? Give me some good recommendations for stuff. You know me, I'm always on the lookout for some good things to listen to while I diamond paint. But anyways, all right, I'm gonna go see what that's about. Wow, hold please. All right, let me wrap it up real fast. As ever, you guys, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world of ours, that you are having a glorious morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. All right, see you later. Bye.